Hello, everybody. My name is Alexandra with This is Improv, and we're here with another episode of Talk About It Tuesday, where we talk about the arts and the people who love them. Today, I am joined by the very talented, very funny Jacob.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm Jacob Zelonky. I am from Memphis, Tennessee. I live in Los Angeles. Yeah, what else?
Do you have a favorite color?
I actually don't. I'm
Nice.
bad at making decisions, and there's so many colors, you know? Do
That's
you have a
first.
favorite color?
Yeah, actually, green. Green is my favorite color.
I love green. I got green.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I met Jacob through UCB. We did some online classes together, and you are such a joy to play with. It's like
Oh, that's
ridiculous.
nice. Thank you.
Seriously. Yeah, it's very easy to do scenes with you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I love working with you as well, and your sister and that whole group. It was a lot of
Oh,
fun.
no, that was an amazing group, and Billy was a great teacher. That was great.
Yes, I miss Billy.
I know, right? We have
I
his
follow
email.
him on Twitter, and
Uh-huh.
he tweets the most random shit. It's so funny.
Of course he does. He's
Yeah,
Billy.
yeah, yeah. It's like exactly what you'd expect.
Right? When you're doing improv, what made you want to go into that scene?
Me and my friends used to go to this improv show called Search History at UCB, and
Okay.
it was just so funny, and it became a thing just every Sunday. Me and my friends would go to see this group, and I just like loved it. And then I eventually was like, I guess I should do it because I'm an actor. So I was like, oh, like actors, they do improv.
Yeah.
That's like a logical thing that makes sense. And everyone in Search History, like in that group, they eventually like they're all famous now. Like all their careers just like took off, and it's been so fun to like watch them all like become so big. And I'm like, oh, I used to see these people every Sunday, you know? And yeah, I was just like, I was just very inspired watching that group specifically, and so I decided to take classes.
What made you want to get into this world, like acting in general?
So acting in general, well, I've been acting since I was really young. I was in my first, well, actually, I was born on TV. I was born on TLC's A Baby Story. So technically I've been on TV forever. And then I was in my first musical when I was 3 years old, Fiddler on the Roof. And I've loved it ever since. And then I started doing like professional theater when I was like 9. And I never stopped acting. I just really loved it. I think I also like growing up, I had, and I still have pretty bad OCD. And so when I was acting, it felt like the only time that I didn't have to be like doing like all my like habits and tics and stuff.
Yeah.
It was like a break from all of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I just always loved it and felt like I really needed it.
That's awesome. Yeah. And when you started doing improv or even started watching it, do you find that you use some of the stuff that you learned there in everyday stuff?
Oh yeah, improv. Yeah, it just feels like a really good life skill. It's the same with acting, but like different life skills. Like acting feels to me like the study of like psychology and emotion, and then with improv, it just feels like you're studying like how to communicate with people. Improv gave me like such a better conversationalist.
Oh yeah.
Like yeah, and just I became such a better listener too. Yeah, it's definitely like gone into my real life for sure. Do you notice that?
Yeah, I do. It's so I used to be really shy on stage. Like I was super loud off stage. But when I got on stage, I was like, oh my God, people are looking at me. Do I look weird? Am I sounding weird? What's going on? And then when I started taking improv classes in Chicago, it was like my first teacher said, we're not going to stop doing this exercise until Alexandra does it exactly the same way. And I was like, okay. And she like broke me of that habit of being worried about what's happening and to just do anything at all. So now I say that I leave my dignity in the car when I walk out of it. And
Yeah.
it's like, you know what, whatever. If it happens, it happens. I say something, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. I said it and it's gone.
For
You
sure.
know?
You have to be like, leave all like your judgment of yourself and everyone else just in the car. I love that.
Just out.
Yeah, and it is really scary though. Like I feel that too. Like when I used to think about maybe doing improv, I was always just like, this just seems horrible and like really, really scary. There's a line in New Girl. Jess goes, "This is the most embarrassed I've ever been for someone not doing improv." And that always stuck with me. And I was always like, yeah, improv, like anything could go wrong. Like that just seems really scary. But I feel like in a way that's why like, yeah, I was also drawn to it as well.
Yeah.
It's like, challenge is exciting.
Yeah, when we talk about it with other people, I always go, I know it sounds hippy dippy, but it's like this very freeing experience of trust, and you love each other at the end, and it's all good because you're all in it together.
Yeah.
But
yeah, absolutely. I really miss like the groups who I did all four levels of UCB with. They were all really cool, and you really do form like such a great bond with them.
Yeah. I mean, you guys were doing extraordinary, ridiculous things with each other, but also not doing them, but like doing them. Like you were in that world together, and everyone was along the ride with you. And I think that's what's so cool about it, is like you create these worlds with people, and there's like these little moments that you create that you don't forget. You don't forget these moments. So, and they stick with you. And something that we learned at Second City is that you can like take all of these improv moments and then you can put them into script form. So, you know, it's like some of the stuff that we do, I did a scene at UCB of an old man who had metaphors for doing life, but they just made no sense. The metaphors made no sense at all.
Okay.
And then we made a scene out of it, except it was about a murderous grandma who kept giving her granddaughter deadly advice for fixing her problems.
Okay.
So it's like that A to C kind of thing happening. Yeah.
So you take, like the improv stuff and put it into like a script.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I feel like that's why a lot of people who do improv are also writers. I feel like improv is like a writing exercise.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Makes it easier to make a beat sheet too. So.
That's the point.
Definitely. Do you have like a favorite exercise to do in acting or improv, whichever one it is? Is there like something that you're like, oh my God, I love doing this, either before performing or anything?
Ooh, we used to do this in the in-person UCB classes. It was like it was one of those games where like it's like a name game. So you point to someone and say their name and then someone else, and then you add different categories. So then you do it again and you do like with cereal, and then you do it again with like fast food restaurants. And then like eventually you're doing all three at the same time.
Yes,
like,
the pattern game.
Yes.
Loved
that.
That one's so fun.
Crazy. Yeah, I love doing that one. Yeah, that's probably my favorite. That one
is beautifully chaotic. It's such a good one, and it makes you really focus too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It gets me in sync with like everything. Do you have a favorite?
Oh, favorite? My favorite is more of like a kid's game because it's called Why Are You Late? Okay. And when we used to do it at the bar, it's like the whole audience is in on it. And I would have to guess why I'm late coming into work. So two people were behind the boss doing charades and just like making motions of like why I was late. And then to hear the audience go, no, yeah, no. I think that was my favorite because it's like literally everyone is in on it. Yeah. And I'm just the one that's like, I don't know.
That's so funny. Oh, I miss improv games so much.
I would like to ask you some questions about tacos. That's all right.
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
You ready? Okay. I want you to describe to me your favorite taco in the form of a love letter, if you could.
Okay. Am I writing the letter to the taco?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Dear Taco, I'm reaching out to you just because I wanted to let you know how much you mean to me. I love going to Chipotle, asking for your crispy shells, asking for the white rice. And I also love how when I was younger, I used to have to ask specifically for the white rice from the back without cilantro. But as I've grown up, I've learned to appreciate you for all your quirks, and I love your cilantro now. I also want to just tell you that whenever I'm going through a vegan phase, you're there for me. When I'm not feeling so vegan, you're also there for me. You know, you don't judge me for the fact that I never put beans in you. You don't judge me for the fact that I tell them to put extra cheese and sour cream, even though I'm lactose intolerant. And you don't judge me for the fact that I never put salsa on you because it's too spicy for me, even if it's mild. And most importantly, I want to thank you for knowing that when you have guac, you are worth the extra charge, because you're worth everything to me. Sincerely, me.
That was beautiful. Oh my God, I can't. I know. Okay, wait, do you put rice in your taco?
Yeah, do you not?
I do. Everyone keeps judging me for it who comes on this show. Well, you heard it here, folks. I'm not the only one now.
It's the first thing they ask you at Chipotle is what kind of rice.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Okay. I get extra.
Good. Finally found my taco.
I love that you have such a passion for tacos, because I love tacos. Like, I took my prom pictures at Chipotle. Like, I love tacos.
I love my birthday is coming up this month, and it's tacos. The theme is taco bears.
What's your favorite tacos?
My favorite kind of tacos, the shrimp tacos. Shrimp tacos. So it's like the rice, black beans, lettuce. I like some sour cream, and then the shrimp, but like grilled shrimp, and then lime on top.
Oh, yeah, that sounds amazing.
It's so good.
My New Year's resolution was to start only eating Chipotle once a month, because I eat way too much Chipotle, and I've been doing it every month on like the first of the month. So it just sucks though, because then I spend the whole rest of the month.
It's like paying your bills. You do the first of the month.
Yeah, exactly.
First of the month and a taco.
Exactly.
And if I didn't know you at all and I saw you down the road, what can't I tell just by looking at you?
Okay. Ooh, you know, usually my go-to is that I was born on TV, but I've already mentioned that.
Ha ha ha.
I have to give something else. I'm like hypermobile. I can extend in lots of weird ways, and I like don't have shoulder joints essentially.
You don't have bones?
Like that, like I do, but like I can make it seem like I don't.
Nice. I always just think everyone just doesn't have bones when they tell me like you don't have bones. I don't believe it after the way you stretch. Some people have a specific style of acting they do, like Meisner or anything, those kinds, right? Yeah. So do you have a specific style, or do you feel like you've meshed a couple?
Yeah, I feel like everyone has their own kind of process. For me, like I like to just learn as many different styles as I can and as many different processes, and then just like figure out what my process is from that. And I like for it to change too, depending on the character, just because I feel like that's fun. So like a lot of times I'll use like personalization, where like I'll take the stuff about the character and I'll like apply it to my own life, so I can like relate to it more, and I'll use like
Of course.
sense memory and things to make it more honest. And then a lot of times I'll just like use my imagination and more bring the character to myself. Yeah, so it kind of depends on the character and how far it is from me. But yeah, I like to just learn as much as I can, so I can be ready to try different ways all the time, because there's so many auditions, so you gotta keep it fun and keep the ways you approach all the different roles varying.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's like, every character is a snowflake. They are different people. So it's true. You'd have to approach different characters in different ways.
Yeah.
For them to feel honest.
Yeah. And a lot of times I feel like I get characters who are the same. Like, like typecasting is the thing. Like, I always feel like I'm playing like a funny best friend type a lot of the time. And so it is fun to use like different processes for characters who feel very similar and see like what brings out the best performance,
Right. Yeah, definitely. And if you could give advice to someone who might want to become someone in our world of the arts, what kind of advice might you give them?
Ooh, I think the best advice is just not to have any ego about stuff as much as you can. I think for me, like when I was starting out, when I was young, like really, really young, I feel like I would like shut down a lot when people would give me advice. I feel like I was like, I got this. Like, I don't need help. Like I feel like I had a big head as like a kid, and I see that a lot in like people now and like my peers and stuff. And I feel like if you're not willing to listen to as many people's advice as you can and like hear people, I feel like you're gonna have a much harder time. Just because it's so hard. And then the other thing I would say is say yes to like as many jobs as you can, even if they're not paying, because eventually people will realize, oh, we should probably start paying them. I feel like I've ended up with getting a lot of nice jobs by doing that.
Definitely. That's networking.
Yeah, for sure. Even though you should be getting paid, but like sometimes it takes people to realize that.
Of course it does. Yeah. No, I mean, it happens all the time. When Angelica and I first started, we did so many in-kinds, and we're like, in-kind is like kind of what companies say for volunteer work. So this is an in-kind invoice. So we are volunteering our time to you, but know that this is the amount that it would have been charged.
Gotcha.
So it's like that. And so we donated our time to a lot of facilities. And then eventually we were getting gig after gig after gig, and it was like, oh, okay, money. But it's true, as with people in our field, you are networking yourself. You are your business, so you have to make sure that you can present yourself in a way. And of course, if you're helping people out, eventually they do offer you jobs. So that's amazing advice, because especially in our world, you should do everything you can when they ask for it.
For sure. And also just like I think about acting and stuff all the time. So I have a lot of things that are just coming to mind now, like the importance of like having like a life outside of your work and stuff too. Like I feel like sometimes I get so stuck in like, okay, I gotta focus on the next audition and the next gig and always be working on my craft. But I really do think it's important to make sure that like even when you're not, working, you have a full life outside of it. I feel like that's something that I wish I would have been told sooner, but I'm glad that I know now.
Us too. Yeah, we're workaholics. So it's kind of like, what do you mean you have another meeting? Shouldn't you be taking a break? It's like, what do you mean? I love this way too much. It does. It becomes an obsession because it's our craft, like we're obsessed. Thank goodness we're obsessed with it.
Right.
So,
but absolutely, love it.
And 100% take a break when you can, because you don't know when your next one's going to come. So
for sure.
Well, Jacob, thank you so much for joining us on Talk About It. Is there any way that people can keep up with you or find you?
Yeah, I'm like really bad at social media, but I have a Twitter,
Nice.
Jacob _ Zelonky. Actually, I think that's my Instagram too. I don't use and TikTok. I think I like have them, but I don't know. Just do it. Yeah, you can follow me if you want.
Yeah. Follow Jacob. Definitely. Thank you so much for joining us today. I greatly appreciate it. We love Jacob so much.
I'm so happy you asked me. Thank you.
Oh no, thank you for coming on here. If you guys would like to take any improv classes in person or online, we do offer hybrid classes. You could go to www.thisisimprov.com and sign up today. We teach all ages. If you like histories, mysteries, and ghost stories of Florida, make sure to go to This Is Legends of Yesterday podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or really anywhere you listen to podcasts. We post normally twice a month, which would be on a Wednesday. So please go ahead and check that out. If you would like to witness some of the stories we tell on the podcast in person, you can go on our comedy, historical, and ghost tours of Davie. You could go to www.thisistours.com to sign up today. If you guys have any questions, don't be afraid to look at the emails linked down below in the description and go ahead, type us some questions. Or if you have any stories of your own, they could be featured on the podcast. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful, and glorious rest of your day, you beautiful creatures. Eat some tacos. It is Talk About It Tuesday. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.